All right, looks like we made it into town a little while ago, and it looks like Iron Masks still got it on. Hello everybody, my name is David. Welcome back to another episode of Tales of Rise. Last time we made it to Ozilbeck, we got a little bit more insight on our objective and kind of how the world is being ran right now by the Renans. This time we are gonna hopefully start learning how to deal with them effectively, and trying to move forward into liberating the region. I was gonna say conquering, but I was like, no, I need the opposite.
Zephyr, you made it! See? I told you there's no way Zephyr would have kicked the bucket.
Fine, you were right. So, what's the plan?
Well, we've got an ace up our sleeve and the enemy's in disarray. I say we strike while the iron's hot.
So we're finally going head-to-head with Balsef.
Hypothetically.
That's right. We can't afford to mess this up. It's now or never.
Then now it is! We've all been waiting for this day for far too long!
Leave the plan to me. In the meantime, yeah, you two need to do something about your outfits.
What, you saying that we ain't cute?
I have just the thing for your size. Stay right there, okay?
Well, Shion's got a cute little dress, but Iron Mask, or I guess Iron Face now, he needs a little something something.
Ta-da! I told you, it fits like a dream.
Oh, look at it! Look at his outfit. Look at how cute he looks. Like,
I'm afraid we don't have any Renan clothing. I could find you some Danon outfits. But something tells me you'd rather pass.
yep.
Is this really that important?
In case you need reminding, I'm here because our interests overlapped. Nothing more. At no
Harsh,
point
but
did I
I
say
mean-
I've given up being a Renan. Now, let's play nice. How about you ask Nate and
But
see
you're
what he
not.
says?
You're just wearing some different
He's our
clothes,
one-stop
girl.
shop for info
It's
around here.
fine.
With any luck,
You would have been
he
fine.
might just know something.
Like I said, the way that this game is kind of portraying this type of dynamic with slavery, it's very risky. I almost forgot how to jump.
This really be here?
That would have been super awkward.
Nath, we need your help.
Ah, damn. Never the manpower when you... Huh? Help, huh? What kind? Is it urgent?
Well, no, not exactly.
Well, in that case, would you mind helping me out with something first? The work's really piled up around here.
What is it you'd like us to do?
Anything you can manage. No one cares about us slaves. That's why it's all the more important that we stick together and take care of each other.
That makes sense.
Check in with
Basically
that
just
guy
having a
over
giant
there
sense
for
of community
details
to
of what
kind
he's
of
doing.
like drive
And
things home
thanks in advance.
and forward. Okay. So we basically just got introduced to
We
a
can't
new
chase after
NPC,
every little
and
thing.
I believe this is not voiced.
Hey,
All right, Nath sent us. He heard you might be a little short-handed. You could say that. Didn't think he'd send over the Iron Mask himself, though. That a Bright Eyes with you? You sure we can really trust her? She's on our side. Zephyr can vouch for her. If Zephyr's good with her, then I guess I don't have a problem. Yeah, what the heck. The name's Dyron. I'm the one who runs this lodge. This is a lodge, but we already all have our own beds. We don't sleep on straw and rock hard dirt around here. The Crimson Crows have their fair share of folks who are knocking on death's door or can't otherwise move around properly. That's what this place is here for, to give people a place to rest up properly before they head off to a fight. Everyone needs to rest. If you don't rest, you can't hope to fight the Bright Eyes at your best.
guess.
Makes sense. What do you want us to do then? I need you to haul in some cargo. I have some friends who are on their way to collect it from our hideout in the Xeon mine. The mines? Is that really such a good idea after the Renans stuffed the place out? These are valuable items people risk their lives to gather. We need to get at least some of them back. They should be down around the Sandovis Ravine at this point. Meet up with them and help bring the supplies back to the lodge. Boat needs facilities if you need to as well. I'll let you sleep here for free. We got our first side quest. We got our first side quest. We got our first side quest. Oh, sorry. They're not side quests. They're sub quests.
I had no idea the Crimson Crows were so active.
But
You sound
before
pretty
we
thrilled by
go on
that.
ahead and head out to that area, we need to listen to a skit called like water, wine, and oil. Water and oil. All right, let's get it done.
Try to be careful not to stand out too much. You're the only Renan around here, you know.
I know. I was just thinking about how communal it feels here, even though it's only supposed to be slave quarters.
Huh? Oh, yeah. When you put it like that, I guess it is different from heavily patrolled Mosgul. Were you expecting something more depressing?
It's likely a sign that Balsef doesn't think you guys can do anything to him.
That's a little insightful.
I mean, if Balsef thought the Crimson Crows actually posed a threat to him, you'd figure he'd be trying harder to suppress them.
Alternatively, he might be just thinking about other priorities, which ultimately also means that he doesn't care about the Crimson
Probably
Crows too
right
much.
about that. All of the other Danans that aren't with the Crimson Crows accept the Renan's rule as simply a fact of life. From the day we're born, no, probably even before that, it's been drilled into us that the only purpose our lives have is to help select the next sovereign.
If they don't like the status quo, then they should fight it. Otherwise, they're endorsing it either way.
I see it differently.
These are both
That's just me.
true statements.
Speaking of Renans, do all of them think about things the way you do?
I won't deny that among my fellow Renans, power and status are everything. However, that isn't what this is about for me. I have something I need to do, and I'll do whatever it takes and use whoever and whatever I need in order to get the job done. To hell with power.
All right. On that note, let's go on ahead and kind of backtrack a little bit. The ravine that they're talking about is where we just kind of came from in the last video with the different monsters and everything. And I will go on ahead and meet you guys back in a second. I'm going to go and get a little practice in and wipe out all the monsters in this area so that way I'm not totally rusty by the time it matters.
Onward and upward.
Oh, something that I totally forgot to mention is that I believe the materials for the most part refresh every time you like revisit an area, so there's probably a small handful of people who have probably went around the world, ran around the world to get all the resources that they need. But actually, you know what? I'll go on ahead and keep this fight in because there is one thing that I did want to talk about while we were fighting. Why did I end up choosing to redo Tales of Arise? You know, how come I just didn't leave that project to the Hayside once I didn't complete it back then, or why did I decide to just redo it? You know, it only took 3 episodes for me to finally talk about this. But the biggest reason was that, for me, I just didn't like the idea that I had left a stone. A game that I was actually like really interested in playing through and finishing. I didn't like the fact that I just didn't go back and complete it, but it had gotten to a point where obviously it's been years at this point since I've last tried playing it, and I was so excited for this game and I just never got around to finishing it. I was just very busy with completing other live service projects at this time, trying to balance streaming and a new job, and now that I finally have a little bit closer to the balance that I want, I wanted to come back and finish something that I was actually invested in. It was something that was kind of gnawing at me a little bit because I was actually going to play a completely different game at first, but I decided that it would matter more to me that I finish the playthrough blind or not, and just get back into the groove of just like regularly making stuff. The other games that I'm going to be planning to do in the future will eventually show up in the future. One's going to be a very short game, and one of them's going to be a game that's on par with the length of this one, however long this game may be, especially with the DLC add-on. And they're also going to be more of games that are going to be kind of in like a guide format, because it'll be the first game that I played through that doesn't have that like blind experience attached to it. And for me, I wanted to try to play to more of my strengths, which I think lends itself in the form of teaching and helping people. So that's just definitely one of the things that I really wanted to sink home in and kind of prioritize.
What? They're all dead? How did this happen?
Soldiers, that's how.
Are you Iron Mask?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I am. Dairon sent me to help. Hang in there.
I'm so glad you made it. In the bushes over there. You'll...
Hang on. Xion, do something.
Girl, you have resurrection, even though you say resuscitation. You could have done something. Hypothetically.
Damn them. They've killed so many of us, and it's still not enough. They won't be satisfied until they've wiped us all out like pests.
He mentioned something about those bushes. We should check them.
I 100%
Is
agree.
this a cooking pot? But what is it doing here?
If I had to guess, he put it there to make sure a Renan wouldn't steal it.
So even though he knew he was dying, he chose to use the last of his strength to hide it, believing somebody would come for it. I guess you think it's stupid getting killed over a silly trinket, huh?
No. Clearly he risked his life for something he believed in. I would never mock someone for that. However, it will be up to us to figure out the purpose behind his dying act.
We'll make sure it wasn't in vain. If nothing else, this proves that the Renans can be outsmarted.
I mean, those
We'll
knight
carry out
archetypes,
the will
like they're all
and
dumb.
see it
I also
through
think
to the
Balsup's
end.
sounding pretty like
And we better get
hot-headed
going.
and dumb.
We don't know when those soldiers might be back
That's just
to
my
make
hot
another
take.
sweep of the area.
So this is what it means to fight the Renans.
Sounds like you're kind of scared to me.
Of course I am. But if I'm gonna die one way or another, I'd rather go down fighting.
I agree with Iron Mask here. I think that that's probably the more important thing that kind of matters between the two, is that it's you have to try. Sometimes change doesn't happen unless if you try. And I mean, that can go for not only just like this revolution thing, but just kind of with life itself. That, you know, there's a lot of things going on in my life right now that maybe I will divulge eventually, but for right now, I'm going to kind of save that for a different time. But I'm trying to implement a lot more change into my life, and hopefully I can grow and just become a better person because of those changes. Damn. So nobody made it, huh? I'm sorry. If we'd arrived just a little sooner, we could have... Hey, things happen. It hurts, but this is the world we live in. I'll take good care of what you brought back. It's the only way we can respect the sacrifice of those we lost. Hey, when's Daddy coming home? Oh no, that's the kid's dad. Not yet, sweetie. Your dad's gone away for a while and... Don't lie to me. He's dead, isn't he? I know that whenever grown-ups look sad and say someone's gone, they always mean they're dead. Daddy always warned me that this might happen one day. He told me to stay strong and brave. So this isn't right. Poor kid should not be dragged into our mess. Let's report back to Nathan and get ready to fight. And with the completion of our side quests, we get money and we get SP. SP basically is just our way to unlock skills in this game. And a lot of them are going to be tied to the titles. Titles are a Tales staple generally. They kind of used to affect level up patterns in older Tales games, and then ever since I think like Zestiria, maybe even this, yeah, I think ever since Zestiria they prioritize they just prioritize making Oh my god. I'm taking mid-air evasion. I can't. I'm also gonna get Gemini Aqua for Shion. But as I was saying, titles have just kind of had their use changed many times over the just over the years.
Who could use our help?
We can't chase after.
I'm skeptical.
You must have gone through the sand. Oh, I didn't realize that this might have been a side quest. You've gone through the Sandavus ravine to get here, right? Is that Zoogle still out there? Big guy, looks like an insect with wings, has sights for arms. Yeah, we saw it. Looked big and pretty tough to boot. That's the one. It's hard to feel safe knowing it's still out there. I'd really like to see it get its comeuppance one of these days. Especially since the people that deliver that comeuppance are going to enjoy a pretty mighty payday on account of all the materials they'll own. Oh yeah? Yep, Zoogle materials are imbued with astral energy, so the stronger they are, the more energy their materials contain. We can use them to make new weapons and stand up to the Reina a little bit better, even with our astral art handicap. With the odds stray, I can usually gather a few of these people and get the materials myself, but something that big's bound to be beyond my capabilities, if there was only a good way to beat it. We'll take it on. I don't see the harm in us checking it out. Do you even hear what you're saying? We've got enough to worry about as it is without inviting even more danger. Renenpal's right. I know you're strong, but I think even the Zoogle might be beyond you. It's not like I need you guys to take it down for us right away, but how should I put it? If anyone has a shot at it, I think it'll be you guys eventually. Once you feel like you're up to the challenge, that is. When you are, would you be willing to give it a shot? You can bring other people along with you to help, of course. Sure, that sounds fair. We'll get it taken care of for you sooner or later. So we won't be able to face the giant Zoogle for a while. It's level 40 something. I showed you guys a clip last episode of me attempting. And so that'll just be something that happens eventually. So as you guys can see on the mini-map, we have these little mailbox symbols. That just means that there's a side quest in the vicinity. So for now, we don't really have too much to worry about in regards to that. We just picked up another one that we won't be able to kind of deal with for a little while. Let's talk to Nath.
You're back, huh? Sounds like it was a real ordeal out there. Much as I hate to admit it, there aren't many of us who can take on those Renin armored soldiers. All we can do is make sure we remember those who sacrificed their lives for the cause.
Yeah,
I agree.
they won't be forgotten.
Glad to hear it. Now, what was that favor you wanted to ask me?
Oh, right. Well, you see...
Blah, 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 blah,
So
blah,
then,
blah, blah, blah,
you're
blah.
wondering if I know of any places where you can find Renin equipment, huh? Anywhere with those damn bright eyes is gonna have tight security, of course. You can't just go carelessly poking around. Unless... Across the wilderness outside Ulzabek, you'll find the Fagan ruins. There's some kind of old Renin castle out there. What with it being impenetrable, I forgot. But with a Renin tagging along, who knows? Maybe you can find some way in. You ask me, though, it's a lot of trouble for some Renin rags. If I were you, I'd get comfortable with Danon garbs.
She's already said no, like
Those look
multiple
like the
times.
ruins. Let's move.
Are we really going in there?
Yes, now let's move.
All right, skit time.
Hey, Shion, where does your gun come from?
What do you mean, where does it come from?
It's exactly what he
When you're
said.
fighting, it looks like it just appears out of nowhere.
Oh, that's transferal technology. When I don't need my weapon, I submerge it in empty space. And when I do, I summon it. Make sense?
No,
Not really, but it sounds pretty
you
amazing.
put it in empty space. So do you just have like
Well, that way
an
you don't have to
invisible
carry around any heavy
backpack?
weapons or worry about enemies trying to steal them, right? It's a pretty cool invention.
You realize you're praising the technology of your enemies, right?
So, technology is technology. It's not good or bad in and
See?
of itself.
Iron Mask gets it.
Yes, that's true.
Iron Mask gets it. He understands that technology is technology, and it just matters who is ultimately using it, rather than if the technology itself is explicitly good or bad. And it's a shame that a lot of different people end up using it.
There's Zoogles here too?
It's just a shame that a lot of people use it for the wrong reasons. You should always assume that there's Zoogles anywhere you go. They're one of the reasons I need you all. We're a team after all, and that means you need to pull your own weight. So when I call for you, I expect you to clear out any enemies around me. What? Why do I have to do all the... In exchange, when you call for me, I promise I'll shoot down any enemies around you too. Sound fair? Yeah, alright. If you don't get in the habit of speaking up during fights, that'll impact morale and our ability to combo together. So make sure to do it often. Got it? Alright, looks like the enemies spot us. Time to get to work. You don't have to tell me that. Oh, okay, so boost gauge is full. Press the direction to execute. I vaguely remember this. Oh.
With that blade and your strength, the average Zoogle shouldn't be a problem, right?
I'll give it a shot. Swallow blade.
I think I did a boost attack. I don't know if I did it correctly.
Here I come. Eat dirt. Here I come.
So how do I use Shion's boost attack? Oh, okay, so I use hers when it comes to downing aerial enemies. Oh, she just appears. Okay, I like that.
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
And so that's why targeting would be a little bit important in this case. So that way I use the boost attacks more accurately.
You picked the wrong fight. Here I come. You're finished.
So in a way, it's just it's another set of arts to use effectively.
You picked the wrong fight. Swallow blade. Take this. No escape.
And I'm trying to position myself in a way where Shion's like boost attack will hit as many people as possible.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking.
All right, there you go.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Looks like you got the hang of it, but don't let it go to your head. Those were the easy ones. I know. I know.
A hard-won victory.
So one of the things that's gonna be nice about going through this area is that I'm probably gonna try my best to explore a lot of these different areas in full, just because I don't want to run into a situation where I like miss stuff because I just didn't explore thoroughly enough. And I'm one of those people whose their depth perception and eyesight's already horrible enough as it is. So I would much prefer to try to be as thorough as I can the first go around, so that way I don't have to go back and figure things out.
I can feel my power growing.
So yeah, we do have probably our first real like open zone to explore. So I'm gonna use this as a good opportunity to just walk around and find stuff, and hopefully we can get actually like a good amount of loot from everything. For example, we just got.
How'd you figure a place like this turns derelict?
Your guess is as good as mine. I didn't even know this place existed until we heard about it. All that matters to me is whether I
totally
can
forgot what I was
find
gonna say.
anything to wear in there.
Why does she care so much about her appearance?
I don't know, actually. I guess it would probably just make her feel more comfortable and at home. Maybe that's probably a big part of why she wants to find this apparel. This is probably gonna be a part of the game where things start to get very hazy for me on a narrative front, because I don't remember. Because obviously this section's pretty filler.
I won't forgive you.
Because realistically, she doesn't really need new clothes, but if it's something that ultimately helps her feel more comfortable, then might as well have one less thing to worry about, which means more room in her head to concentrate on the battle at hand. But one thing's for certain, I'm glad they're finally like starting to work a little bit more as a team together, because it's definitely been feeling like you can feel like the animosity between the two. which was kind of unfortunate.
We're in good form.
You wanna know what's gonna be the sad thing though? I feel like even though I'm doing my best to go out of my way to fight a lot of these monsters, I'm still probably not gonna end up with enough materials to do the things that I want to do. I think one thing that I hope that I get in the future, by the way, is that I hope that I get something that can like force me to do a dodge cancel mid-attack, so that way I don't have to run into those situations where oh, that air dodge is so much nicer to have now.
Here I come. You're finished. Here I come.
I never miss.
You're finished. Try harder.
Oh, that was close, but we got that Bayonetta, we got that dog in him.
It's weakened.
I'm not this ends now.
So yeah, that's the whole reason why I've been striking at the enemy's back, by the way. Just so that way we're all on the same page here, is because I knew that I would stagger him eventually if I broke the cord that's resting on his back. Well, let's go ahead and kind of keep exploring this first area, because there's probably some extra loot that
Out of our way.
will be beneficial enough for our journey, and like I mentioned before, some additional experience wouldn't hurt anybody. I realized that what's probably going to happen is that we're probably going to get the bulk of our experience through subquests, because we're only getting about 6 or so for each mob that we are like taking on.
Here I go. I'm only getting started. These
All
little
right.
ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Thank good. I was like, thank goodness we can start making short work of a lot of these mobs already. Oh? We got some mean Zergles further in. We're keeping a close eye to make sure that not a single one of them breaks loose. Okay, so looks like we won't be able to go over there at least for the foreseeable future. Might be worth coming back here once, like I said, we're probably gonna have more party members and other kind of things of that nature, just better gear overall.
Here I come. Nicely done, Shion.
You're slapped. Step it up.
Yeah,
This one's mine.
you got it.
Dang, she said you're slacking. That's disrespectful. I'm doing my best over here, girl.
Looks like we won.
So, real fast, is orange gel what replenishes CP? It is. Okay, so we do have an option to restore CP that isn't just resting at the inn. Oh, there's an owl over here, so we got some cat ears. That's cute.
I'm surprised there are owls here too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought.
So that's going to be one of the things that I might like go out of my way towards the end game. Maybe just pull up a side guide and then boot up a stream, and then just kind of go around the world hunting for a lot of the owls, so that way we can get as many.
The landing.
So that way we can just go on ahead and get a lot of what we need. There's still so many Zoogles out though.
Right, here
I feel like I've just fought like every single one of them.
One more.
Wait, Demon Fang?
I'm not done.
By the power of
You're
one.
on.
I am gonna put Demon Fang on like right away though. Just because,
Demon, take this.
not only is that just like a protagonist staple, but I find it very important
Here, let me help.
that we have unique attacks on.
Burn out.
I can only rely on myself.
What do you mean you can only rely on yourself? I'm literally right here.
Try harder. My turn. Swallow blade.
But yeah, I need to be careful with my mashing. I need to be a little bit more.
Want to rest up for a bit?
I need to be a little bit more deliberate about the moves that I use, I guess. So we already got the wheat and stuff over here. I think that we've done a decent, we've done like a decent job exploring, but obviously I haven't checked every nook and cranny from a lot of these destroyed like houses and villages and everything. Because look, there's some resources like those mushrooms right there. I don't even remember going back here all that much. I don't even know if we can get into this house. I don't think we can, unless if I finagled like jumping, but even then it looks like there was like an out of bounds type effect going on. So I think we've more or less cleared out everything. If I had to take like a quick like immediate guess. Oh nope, we saw another battle. A whole bunch of flying mobs though. Okay, so we are definitely running insanely low on CP. That is okay though, because I know we don't need it as much. Because we still have like apples and orange gels to really use if things get that bad. So I may use an orange gel if there's not a campfire coming up soon.
I never miss. Swallow blade. There. Take that.
I kind of underestimated how slow some of these boost
No time to hold back.
how long it takes for some of these some of these boost attacks take to like activate. But I realize now that the person that if I do stuff that the person is more proficient in, it tends to be a little bit easier. And we got some lavender. Gotta love lavender. The only thing that sucks about cure points, though, in my opinion, is that since it's all pulled from one like big well of points rather than is this a golem? Yes, sir. I was gonna say his boost attack was actually really good there. I wasn't expecting that to stagger. But I'll take what I can get. I think there's still one more set of mobs that, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I'll say there's one more set of mobs that I haven't fought. But I think that this was good. This was good XP to get. So one of the things I think that they might pseudo have balanced to some degree that I've noticed is I say that yeah, in most Tales games you can't actually spam items because then that actually kind of trivializes the game a little bit. But I guess because of the cure points thing, they might have shortened the item timer a little bit, so it's kind of hard to say. We're almost at the castle though.
If those are the Fagin ruins below us. Shouldn't be too much farther now if that's the...
He's hungry.
I guess it's been a while since I had a bite to eat. Don't worry about me. I'm used to working while I'm hungry. It's no big deal.
Just because you're used to it doesn't make it right.
You should eat whenever you can. The last thing I need is you keeling over in the middle of a fight just because you didn't eat.
Never thought I'd get lectured on eating by a Renin of all people.
Honestly?
Yeah, well, some of us Renins know what it's like to go without food, believe it or not.
What do you mean? I thought...
This isn't about me. Now, are you going to eat or not?
I would, if we had anything to eat, but we don't.
Actually, I have a little bit of food on me.
You've been carrying that stuff around this whole time? I'm not sure it's gonna be enough for the both of us, though.
That's why we're going to cook it instead.
Oh?
Cook? I've never done anything like that before.
Wait.
Me neither, to
really?
be honest.
Oh, wait,
We've
what?
gotta make something out of all this, so might as well try.
Not the being all self-taught cooks. Oh, this is gonna be so stressful. Oh, this is gonna be so stressful. Why are they like this? I'm glad they are cooking a meal. Don't misunderstand me. But
what are you staring at me for?
Your clothes are all about function over form. You should think about sprucing them up a little.
What?
I guess we can... Oh, so at camps and inns, you can eat cooked meals, temporary effects, new dishes made by finding recipes, while ingredients can be found at collection points or stores. Eating new meal overrides any other effects. Depending on who it is, their duration, or the potency of their effects. So, oh, so Shion likes porridge. So
This should
we'll get a
definitely
defense
keep
up.
you guys full.
Nice, and we have it for effectively 20
You really
minutes.
do eat through that mask of yours, huh? I'm impressed you can manage so well.
I didn't like looking at that.
It's nothing.
Or
Get
at least
used to
the
it
thought of
after a
him eating it
while.
through his mask, because he's probably like,
Still, I'm
he
glad
has to
we
like
decided to stop and
sift
fill
the
our stomachs.
food up and through,
I've
and
got a
I don't
newfound
think
respect
that
for
works
cooking
as
now.
well as like I would
But I guess that's
initially
easy when you're
like
used to
anticipate or
eating everything
think.
raw. It would have been perfect if it had any flavor.
Sorry it didn't live up to your palate.
Oh, no, that wasn't a knock on you. I was just... Sorry. That's not how I should thank you for cooking for me.
You've got me curious now. Is it just pain you can't sense, or are your taste buds shot too?
Ooh,
Sure, my taste buds work fine. Although apparently what I like tends to be a little out there.
How so? What's so unusual about what you eat?
Well, one time I couldn't get enough of these things I picked off a plant, but everyone else said they were way too spicy.
oh, he
Doc
likes
thinks
spice.
Maybe I crave spicy food to compensate for the lack of pain I feel.
Maybe it's best I take charge of the cooking. You know, just to be on the safe side.
I could just
I
imagine
can't
making like
guarantee
super
it'll be
spicy
to your
food.
tastes, though.
I said I'm sorry. Look, I'll learn to tone down my tastes in the future, so let's just put that slip of the tongue behind us already.
That's so goofy. I like that little interaction. I didn't realize Iron Mask has like a very strong joy for spicy food. Ooh, and Shion got a new thing with Speedy Chef. So one thing about me, I am definitely the type of person who prefers to complete like one thing at a time, because it'll drive me crazy if I start going all over the place with these different skill trees. So we're just going to be focusing on the Rebellious Spark, and once we complete it, we get a little extra bonus. That's the other incentive.
Well, off we go.
All right, let's walk into what I'm imagining is the ruins. But I'm gonna end things off. We've already been recording for 40 minutes. It's probably gonna be closer to like 30-ish minutes by the time editing's over with, just because I do have to cut out some parts of it, some parts of the battles and everything. So I do want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping in and watching today's episode of Tales of Arise. The next time that we continue, we're going to be entering the ruins, so that way we can go on ahead and find Shion some clothes, because she's not a fan of that white dress. Honestly, I don't blame her. But oh, here are where the accessories are. So I can give Iron Mask a little cat ears and a dog tail. But I'm not going to do that just quite yet. We also have weapon skins in case you want to still stick with the canonical weapons. So thank you guys also very much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you guys all in the next one. So you guys have a good rest of your day. See you guys then.